Okay, good afternoon, everyone, or I should say evening, and welcome to our February 3rd, 2021 meeting of the Subcommittee on Higher Education. We have just one short follow-up item listed on our agenda. Staff will provide an update on the allocations from the second federal relief funding for higher education. Then we're going to adjourn. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah to give us that update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will share just the screen with just the one-page file and hopefully put it up there too. And I just wanted to update you on the institution allocations for the new round of federal funding. The columns that are on the far right side that say CARES was the first round of funding from 2020. And that funding, and both of these sets of columns just refer to the higher education emergency relief funding component. There's also separate funding under GEAR, elementary and secondaries is separate, and then also Sierra funding in the 2020 package. But the original CARES funding was required to be 50-50 for student aid and institutional support. So you see those totals there by institution and in total. In total, it was $105 million for the public institutions for student aid, and the other half, the other $105 million, could be for institutional support. Then going over to the left for the new package, the allocation had more emphasis on head count, and it was larger overall, but did require that the student aid portion be at least the amount from CARES, so that's why those are the same, at least $105 million total. But you can see that then the totals by institution are higher, with the grand total for both pieces at $378 million rather than $210 million. And that completes the presentation on the updates of the institutional allocations.
Madam Chairman, is this based on student population?
Yes, and it's a combination of multiple factors. It's based on partially related to Pell-eligible students, and part of it's headcount and part of it's FTE. Yes, and it was determined by the federal government. No decisions for the state on that allocation amount.
The difference between, Madam Chair, the CRRSAA and CARES?
CARES refers to that first 2020 round of relief funding that was passed back in March of 2020, and the Consolidated Relief Supplemental Appropriation Act, I think it was the one that just passed in December.
Madam Chair, so you're saying Congress decided who's getting what?
For the higher education relief fund portion of it. There's also a much smaller pool called the Governor's Emergency Education Relief, which does have some discretion for the state. But for this biggest piece, the institutional allocations were decided.
Madam Chair, I mean, up here at the top it says HEERF. All the way down.
Mm-hmm.
All those decided about that. Congress who did that?
Correct, the allocation in the federal bill.
Madam Chairman? I'm wondering, is the student aid portion to be taken out of the HERF?
Yes, the columns to the
It's
left
not
is the
in
total.
addition?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, thank you.